everyone, today we're going to be reading Look at Lucy. This video is going to be chapter 1 and 2 of this book. Chapter 1 is called School Blues. Bobby Quinn sat on the front steps of his house. He watched one tired leaf float down from the big oak tree in the yard. "Uh-oh," said Bobby, "falling leaves." "Okay, one leaf," but many more were sure to follow. Bobby knew what that meant. School would start soon. School. Bobby didn't want to think about school. And for just that moment, he didn't have to. A bark came from behind the screen door. It was Lucy. Lucy was a brown and white beagle with black spots and eyes the color of chocolate kisses. Bobby's parents had given Lucy to him for his 8th birthday earlier in the summer. She was absolutely the best dog ever. Absolutely was Bobby's favorite word. Lucy's bark turned into a howl. A howl meant she wanted out of the house, and she wanted out right now. "Okay, girl," Bobby said with a smile. "You can come and sit with me." But Lucy wasn't the kind of dog who liked to sit. She was the kind of dog who liked to run and jump. She liked to run so much that a few weeks ago she had run away. Bobby and his friend Sean had to chase her all around their town. For a few anxious moments, Bobby had been afraid he might not see Lucy again. Just the thought of that day gave him a stomachache. Since then, Bobby hadn't taken any chances. He hurried to shut the gate before he let Lucy out of the house. When Lucy was free, she leapt down the steps into the yard. Yipping and yapping, she stood next to the frisbee that Bobby had dropped in the grass the day before. Lucy looked at Bobby with her big brown eyes. "Pick it up! Throw it!" That's what her bark seemed to say. Bobby didn't have to be asked twice. He hurled the red frisbee. Lucy went on the chase. Bobby threw. Lucy chased. Every time Lucy brought back the frisbee, she pranced around, waiting for the next toss. School might be starting soon, but it was still summer, and it was hot. Bobby wondered where Lucy got all her energy. He wiped the sweat from his forehead. "Hi, Bobby," a voice called. Bobby looked up and saw his friend Sean at the gate. Sean had moved in across the street over the summer, and Lucy had brought the two shy boys together. Bobby wasn't as shy as he used to be, but when he thought about school, he got nervous. He didn't really have any friends in his class. He had always been too shy to talk to the other kids. Would things be better this year? "Hey, Sean, come in," Bobby said. Sean opened the gate and carefully closed it behind him. Chasing Lucy all over town was still very clear in his mind, too. He didn't want to go through that again. Lucy ran over to Sean and snipped his hand. She dashed back to the frisbee. She looked first at Bobby, then at Sean. "Well, let's play," she seemed to say. Instead, Bobby said, "It's too hot, Lucy." He turned to Sean. "Let's go inside and have some lemonade." "Okay, I have something to tell you." As Bobby and Sean headed for the door, Lucy started barking again. She wasn't going to give up playtime that easily. Sometimes Bobby gave in to Lucy's wishes, but not today. He opened the door wide. "Come in, Lucy." What could a dog do? She dashed past the boys and led the way into the house. Bobby went right to the refrigerator and opened it. The cold air hit him. It felt great. He grabbed the lemonade pitcher and brought it to the table. Then he took a couple of glasses off the counter and poured the lemonade. "So what's up, Sean?" he asked. Sean took a glass. "My parents said I could get a pet." "A dog?" Bobby knew Sean had wanted a dog for a long time. Sean shook his head. "No, they said I should start with something small." "A hamster? A turtle? A bird?" Bobby asked. Sean shrugged. "I don't know. I haven't decided yet." Mrs. Quinn came into the kitchen. "Bobby," she said, "we need to go to the mall and pick up some things for school. And I need to stop by Pet-O-Rama and buy some food for Lucy." School. There was that word again. Then he had a thought. "Can Sean come with us, Mom? He's looking for a pet," Bobby informed his mother. "He doesn't know what kind yet, and this trip to Pet-O-Rama would give him some ideas." "Okay, we're leaving in a few minutes. I'll call your mother, Sean, and make sure it's fine for you to come over," Bobby's mother said. Sean nodded. Like Bobby, he didn't find it easy to speak up. Bobby looked at Sean. Is Sean worried about starting school too? Bobby wondered. It was hard to be the new kid, but in a way, Bobby wished he could be the new kid. He would like a fresh start. He was sure plenty of his classmates remembered that in kindergarten, he was so shy he used to cry. His nickname was Cry Bobby. Sean, Bobby began. What? School is starting soon. I know, Sean answered quietly. How could I forget? From the look on Sean's face, Bobby had his answer. Sean wasn't any happier about school than he was. That was the end of chapter 1, and now chapter 2 is called Pet-O-Rama. So, pencils, notebooks, crayons. Bobby and his mother filled up the shopping cart with school supplies. Sean's mother had said he should buy some things too, so Sean added items to the cart. Mom, when will we find out if Sean and I are in the same class? Bobby asked. We should hear in the next few days. Mrs. Quinn said as she pushed the cart down the crowded aisles. I sure hope we're in the same room, Bobby told Sean. Me too, Sean answered. At least you know some kids at school. I don't know anybody. You know Candy, Mrs. Quinn reminded Sean. She's in our school district now. She might be in your class. Candy was a new friend Bobby had made in dog obedience school. Lucy wasn't a very good student, but Candy's dog Butch was terrible. He sat when he was told to stand. He sat when he was asked to fetch. Sometimes, in the middle of class, he'd just lay down and close his eyes. It would be great if Candy ends up in our classroom, Bobby said. She'd talk so much that we wouldn't have to talk at all. The boys grinned at each other. They both liked Candy, but sometimes it was hard to get a word in edgewise. Sean and Candy in his room, Bobby wondered what it would be like to have two friends in his class. Then his smile faded. What if they wanted Bobby to introduce them to other kids? Bobby barely knew the boys and girls who had been with him in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. Most of the kids ignored him. Bobby started to feel funny. Maybe it wouldn't be so great to have Sean and Candy as classmates. He didn't want them to know how unpopular he was. Bobby, you haven't heard a word I've said, his mother told him. Bobby shrugged. It was true. He hadn't. I want to do a little clothes shopping, his mother repeated. Bobby groaned. We'll get to the pet store soon, Mrs. Quinn said. She was already pushing her cart toward the kids' clothing section. Bobby sighed. The best thing to do was to make clothes shopping go as fast as possible. Bobby picked out a blue shirt and a sweatshirt with a football helmet on it. His mother put the clothes in the cart. All right, would you like to try on some jeans? Bobby and Sean looked at each other. That could take forever. Mrs. Quinn gave up. Can see you're not in the mood to try on jeans right now. Right now? Bobby thought. I'll never be in the mood for that. Let's check out, Mrs. Quinn said. Then we'll go to the pet store. Finally, Bobby whispered to Sean. Sean just nodded. But they weren't out of the store yet. There was a long checkout line, and it was moving slowly. Mom, Bobby pleaded. All right, Mrs. Quinn said. Pet-O-Rama is right next door. Go to the pet section and meet me there. Stick together. We will. Bobby and Sean couldn't get out of the store fast enough. Pet-O-Rama was a big, brightly lit store. One half of it was packed with pet supplies, and it had everything from dog food to kitty litter to mealworms. Once, Bobby had picked up a container of the bugs and asked his dad what they were for. I think lizards eat them, his father had said. Lizards. Bobby was glad he didn't have a lizard for a pet. The other side of the store was much more interesting. That's where the animals were kept. Let's go over there, Bobby said to Sean. He pointed in the direction of several large bird cages. Bobby had never really spent much time on the pet side of Pet-O-Rama. As they walked up and down the aisles, he was surprised by how many choices there were. Do you want a bird? Bobby asked. They stopped in front of several large glass cases full of birds. There were parakeets in different shades of blue and green. Small songbirds chirped away. In a corner cage, standing proudly on his perch, was a big, colorful parrot. I wouldn't know which one to pick, Sean said. The boys were drawn to a glass-walled room with some cages on tall shelves. Inside the cages, several cats roamed. One black cat batted a toy mouse back and forth. A fluffy white cat nibbled on some dry food, and two kittens tussled with each other in a corner of one of the cages. "Can you have a cat?" Bobby asked. Sean shook his head. "My sister's allergic to cat hair," he explained. "Too bad. If Bobby didn't have Lucy, he might like to own a cat." "My mom said I should look at small pets," Sean said. So the boys checked out the hamsters, guinea pigs, and turtles. Sean seemed a little dazed. "So many choices," he murmured. He also seemed relieved when Mrs. Quinn came up to the boys. "Have you made any decisions?" she asked Sean. He shook his head. "Well, think about it." Mrs. Quinn looked at her watch. "Let's go buy Lucy's food and get home." On the way out, a large, colorful poster, taller than the boys, caught Bobby's eye. The poster had a drawing of different kinds of animals crowded in front of a television camera. Across the top were the words, "Wanted, spokespet for Pet-O-Rama." Under the picture of the animals, it said, "Is your pet cute, smart, funny? Enter the Pet-O-Rama spokespet contest and your pet could be on TV." Bobby read the poster carefully. Cute, smart, funny. That described Lucy. She could win the spokespet contest easy. That is the end of chapter 2. What kind of pet do you think Sean will decide on? And do you think that Bobby will enter Lucy in the spokespet contest? I hope you enjoyed these 2 chapters and come back for the next chapter soon. Bye!